Former President Trump violated the gag order for the 10th time after making public comments about the criminal trial jury in an interview on Real America's Voice on April 22nd. Judge Juan Merchan has declared the former President of the United States, Donald Trump, in contempt after determining that he violated a limited gag order for the 10th time during the criminal trial over an alleged secret payment. According to the judge, Trump breached the order by making public comments about the jury of the case during an interview on Real America's Voice on April 22nd, while the trial was already underway. Given the persistent violations of the gag order, the judge has threatened to take more severe measures in the future, including imprisonment, stating that the $1,000 fines for these infractions do not serve as a deterrent. Mr. Trump, the last thing I want to do is put you in jail. You are the former president of the United States and possibly also the next president, Merchan stated in a direct statement to the Republican. At the end of the day, I have a job to do. Similarly, Merchan specified in the ruling that Trump violated the order by making public statements about the jury and its selection process. By doing so, the defendant not only cast doubt on the integrity and, therefore, legitimacy of this proceeding, but also raised again the specter of fear for the safety of the jury members and their loved ones, Judge Merchan sentenced. The judge's decision comes after declaring that Trump had been in contempt for 9 previous violations of the trial's limited gag order. In total, he paid $9,000 for each infraction. A Manhattan court in New York City tried Trump, accusing him of felony charges stemming from an alleged 2016 monetary payment to remain silent to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. In the first criminal trial of a former president in U.S. history, he pleaded not guilty to a total of 34 charges. Is Trump resisting the gag order? Yes. Before the trial, he asked a state appeals court to postpone it while he appealed the gag order, but the court refused. His appeal is still ongoing. Who is responsible for the gag order on the Trump case? Initially imposed on March 26th, the gag order prohibits Trump from making or ordering others to make public statements about any member of the jury and about any reasonably foreseeable participation of a witness in the investigation or trial. The gag order also forbids any remarks about the case's lawyers, court staff, prosecution assistants, and their relatives, if they have the intention to materially interfere or cause others to materially interfere with their work on the case, or if they know that such interference is likely to occur. The order does not apply to Judge Juan M. Merchan or Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney whose office is presenting the case. However, it does apply to comments made about their relatives. On April 1st, Merchan introduced this provision following Trump's social media attacks on the judge's daughter, a Democratic political consultant, and his subsequent judicial officials' repudiation of his remarks about her. Merchan clarified on Thursday that Trump is free to discuss his political opponents. The order also does not prevent witnesses from commenting on Trump. Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and expected witness, has routinely attacked his former boss, which led Trump to complain that he cannot respond in the same way. Can Trump testify? Yes. The U.S. Supreme Court has upheld that criminal defendants have the constitutional right to take the stand to defend themselves or to not do so. Trump's statement on Thursday that the gag order prevented him from testifying caused some confusion. In context, it appeared that he was referring to his ability to respond to a reporter's question in the courthouse hallway about a witness's testimony that afternoon. Trump clarified to reporters on Friday that he understood that the order was not a ban on testifying. Merchan emphasized the same thing before the court. I want to emphasize, Mr. Trump, that you have the absolute right to testify at the trial if that is what you decide to do after consulting with your lawyers, said Merchan. Could Trump really go to jail for the gag order? Merchan wrote that jail might be a necessary punishment for some wealthy defendants to whom such a sum would not deter, after fining Trump $1,000 for each of the 9 violations, the maximum fine permitted by law. Merchan added that he will not tolerate continued deliberate violations of the gag order, and that if necessary and appropriate, he will impose a punishment of imprisonment, that is, jail. It's unclear what would qualify as necessary and appropriate. Todd Blanche, the defense attorney, indicated before the court on Friday that he plans to appeal the judge's decision last week that Trump violated the gag order. The prosecutors asked Merchant to declare Trump in contempt again and impose a $1,000 fine for each of the 4 alleged violations committed between April 22nd and 25th. However, the prosecution does not ask to imprison the former president for those comments because they occurred before Merchant's imprisonment warning and because we would prefer to minimize the disruption of this proceeding, said prosecutor Christopher Conroy.